Yeah, I'm Isaac Napple, formerly incarcerated. Did about 32 years, state and federal.
My name is Bobby Wallace, formerly incarcerated. I served 22 years and 4 months in Angola.
My name is Thad Taylor, formerly incarcerated individual who did more than 28 and a half years in Louisiana State Penitentiary, known as Angola. Upon leaving Angola in 2011, I had this idea of forming a peer support group because I wanted to know what we could do to try to make a transition back into what is known as a civilized society. I don't think enough can be said, I don't think enough light can be shined on the difficulties that we face upon coming home. Because we are actually strangers coming back into a foreign land.
You know, Tatum, I was listening to you and it gave you flashbacks. And I think that's one of the things that it kind of, when we talk to each other, you know, we can relate to each other and we can feel each other's pain and struggles, past struggles, and struggles right now that we go through psychologically.
What's your challenge now? What is your greatest challenge of being out here?
I still have problems, and my wife, she brings it to my attention all the time. I have a huge bed, but I only use this much space on the end, and she said, why don't you come over to the middle of the bed? Just to please her, I'll try to get to the middle. But as soon as she falls asleep, I'm right back on that end. You know, the beds in prison only about this wide. You get so used to sleeping in that little spot for so long until, you know, when you do enter society, you still have that same small area in your mind.
I find myself in that same situation. I got a queen size bed. I sleep on the edge of the bed like this intentionally because I'm used to feeling where the danger zone is at. This is a practice that I've had, and that's what the peer support group helps us with, identifying the things that we're not recognizing. But because we can recognize it, we can express it to other people. Man, you still put toilet paper on the toilet seat? You still take one pants leg out? You still walk on the right side?
When you said take the one pants leg out your and these people that are listening to this, you spoke so fast they made you say, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by taking one pants leg out? Explain that.
It's a protection thing.
Could I say where that came from?
Yeah, please do.
Kill a guy on the toilet. He had his pants pulled down like this here. And walked in the bathroom, hit him in his chest, knife that long. When that happened, everybody started taking one leg. Even though we home now, some of us still doing that. You know, and I'm guilty for it myself. I didn't
get out here today.
Yeah.
Where it's comfortable.
Yes, it's comfortable.
Have it flowing.
And left from the protectiveness, you know, to comfort.
To the comfort.
As Nat was explaining about how the guy hit the other one in the chest with a knife, I found myself chuckling. And then I realized, man, you've been through so much trauma and drama that you chuckle at a gruesome scene like that.
Yeah.
Because that was a part of my everyday life.
It leads me to want to ask Bobby, well, how would you define institutionalized?
Every day, I would hear a whistle which controlled nearly my every move. Upon waking up, I would hear a whistle. Going to the kitchen, I would hear a whistle. Walking in a straight line, I would hear a whistle. going on the yard, off the yard, to go to visit, count time, recount time, I would hear a whistle. A whistle would blow 15 to 20 times a day. Subconsciously, it's being instilled in my mind, the importance of that whistle. When people like myself has been incarcerated for so long, and you instill something constantly, every day, then it becomes important. No matter how much you try to compartmentalize it, you can't. You don't have the power to control your subconscious mind. Because you can be walking and you can smell something that'll reel your mind into thinking about something else. That whistle is with me forever because it controlled me for so long. When I come and this whistle been in my mind 8,157 and a half days of hearing it 15 to 20 times a day, you let me come out without talking to me, not without asking me, how can I help you? What's going on in your mind? And you just say, go be normal. And here I am. I'm dressed, got my little lining, looking normal, but in my mind, I can't function like everybody else because this whistle meant something important to me. It's just a whistle to you. It's just a sound to you. It's a control mechanism for me. You gonna do it again? Starting to feel something. That's it?
Yeah, it's lunch.
Man, I was just getting warm.
You want to go again?
Yeah, I want to go again.
Okay.
Ready? You did good.
If you're feeling good.
Because my wife liked to play sometime and she'll slap me and I turn her, I'm like this. You tripping, because it's just a reflex.
Right.
All right? So she developed this thing when we sleep sometimes. She'll come up behind me and spoon me when I'm sleeping, and she'll put her hand right here and pull herself towards me. And I break her hand and I turn around and I look at her, I said, what you doing?
Yeah.
And she said, what you tripping on? I said, no, what is you tripping on? Because when she do it, she humping me.
Like now, but like yourself, we're in a big old bed. You know, when we go to bed, we laying up and we watching TV all curled up together. Or you go to bed like they go to bed. You don't have clothes on. You don't have all these different things. So when I woke up and you all on me like this, you know, and my mind is, I don't know about you, hold up, time out, what you doing? You know, what your body doing touching my body? You're still living in this environment, even though you're not in that environment. I'm waking up fighting. And I hit the girl in the nose, almost broke the nose. It was bad.
I remember one time we was in the peer support group and Tatum had mentioned it, that some of us are institutionalized before we even make it to the institution. And I think it has something to do with our upbringing in our environment. You know, singing about Angola.
Yes.
You know, when we was kids, what the song we sung when we was kids?
Angola, when I was one, they booked me from shooting that gun. Way down yonder on that farm, picking that cotton all night long. Angola, when I was two. And those things reach all the way to the number 10. And you'll be able to identify it. But just think about 8, 9, 10-year-old kids sitting around in the
Singing about
neighborhood
Angola.
talking about indoctrinating themselves with the thoughts and an idea of going to a place that's almost inedible for them to go to.
You know, at an early age, when I got convicted, I was in the process of fighting and training for the Junior Olympics. My life got derailed. Things went on from there to Angola. Wound up going to penitentiary for a crime I didn't commit, getting convicted and everything. And I continued to use my skills while I was there, boxing. I started boxing at the young age of 9 years old. 1971 was the year. I was just another black kid who lived in New Orleans housing project. My life revolved in a 3-bedroom project house with my mama, 2 brothers, and 7 sisters. As for myself, I am Isaac Napper. My exclusive star twinkled bright, dreaming of becoming a boxing champion of the world. But at the age of 16, I was convicted of a murder I did not commit. Upon my arrival at Angola, despite of my disposition, boxing probably saved my life. But I did not call it boxing in prison. I called it fighting. It was no longer the sport I loved. It was survival. My shape, it was impeccable. I would jog for 4 hours, running almost at a fast pace until my body would just get numb. I wanted to see, I wanted to feel tired. I wanted to get tired. I was angry, and I just wanted to feel human again. Wednesday nights were fight nights at the A building. Over 368 wins, 98 knockouts, and I only lost once. I was a power puncher. I've always loved boxing, but I did not know if the love was still there. After my case was overturned in 1991, I was feeling the love I once lost. Yes, I continued to pursue my boxing career, and I was one match away from Barcelona Olympics. But that's another story. Yeah, that's right.
Because I do really think that, you know, everything that you guys are doing with the peer support group and understanding more of the psychological aspects and the trauma aspects is something that, like, I don't think people really understand.
They look at you in jail, you're supposed to be in there.
Right.
Don't think about what we can do to make it better. So when they do come home one day, you know, they can find themselves in a better place. They figure if you have some trauma, good, we doing our job then.
I went to prison at 21 years old, right? They took all my 20s, they took all my 30s, they took all my 40s, and I come home at 50 years old. It's like I got to relive that in which I missed.
Now, listening to you, I'm gonna ask y'all this question. And you was just saying you got locked up when you was 21. You say 16 the first time you got locked up. I got locked up at 22. It might just be me, but I doubt it. When I got back out this time, I was feeling 22 again.
That's not.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
not.
was 22 in my mind. Though I was 45,
That's
I was 22
not
in my mind.
unusual. When you left, everything stopped.
Right.
And when you came back, you went back to what? What you left, what you remember.
Right.
Because you got to try to pick up where you left off.
That what you left, you know, years ago,
Right.
it's not there no more.
Camera speeding. And
I was sentenced to more than 190 years in Angola. From the time I was removed from my family and sent to prison, the only constant in my life was the trust of my mother. Through the ups and downs of my incarceration, through all the missed holidays, new births in the family, graduation and death, my mind was a constant through it all. She was my connection to a world outside the walls. We became friends. But after serving 28 and a half years, I left prison with mixed emotion, both joy and bitterness. I was happy to leave such a place as Angola, but I was bitter of not being able to enjoy my freedom with my mom. My mom, who had been my rock and solace all my life, passed away 7 months before I was released. Now all I have are memories of what was and thoughts of what could have been. I returned home at the age of 50. Almost 2 years later, I became the father of the most beautiful baby girl. I don't know if it's divine intervention, but I often wonder if my mom could have returned to the spirit of my daughter. Whenever my daughter does something fussy, I think of my mom. Whenever she asks word about me being home alone, I think of my mind. There are so many resemblances of their action and ways that it keeps me smiling. It's funny to think that we can laugh about this matter right now, you know, because there's a lot of humor in it. But if you think about it, you know, it's not so funny, right? Because for so many years, man, not only did they limit ours, you know, our growth and capacity for the mental concept of our mind, they limited our choices. They limited our abilities to make those choices. When we look at everything in totality, we understand how entrapped we were. We understand how we took the abnormal and made it normal. By no means think that we're sitting here, you know, glorifying that in which we went through.
Right.
You know, because that's not our intention. It's not our intention at all. What we're trying to do, we're trying to make sense of it. You know, to give the viewing audience an opportunity to question the fairness of what we're now going through. Not what we went through so much, but what we're now going through. Is it fair?